Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Holistic Wellness Wednesday, where I believe mental fitness is the new physical health today. Before I bring my very special guest on tonight, who is Steve Fillmore, let's do a little couple of housekeeping things here. So, for those of you who don't know or who are new to me on this channel here, I'm Jeffrey E. Berger, a certified holistic wellness coach, and I'm really humbled to be affiliated with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are actually aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company that focuses on the microbiome. And the microbiome is the gut-brain-heart axis, a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today, and especially when it comes around mental health. This is something I'll be talking about in extensive detail over this series of interviews that I'm doing, which is very, very near and dear to my heart, wrapped around physical, mental, and emotional well-being. You know, at no time in human history have we ever really been so advanced technologically and yet so miserable psychologically. And today, it's no exaggeration to describe stress, depression, anxiety, and burnout as epidemics, literally the Black Plague of our modern times. And how we feel is not just in your head, it's also in your gut. And national surveys are showing that happiness and life satisfaction levels are at all-time lows, while depression, suicide, depression, and the use of prescription antidepressants and pain-killing opioids are at an all-time high. The reality is that there is no physical health without mental wellness. They are two sides of the same coin, and they are vital for each other and for our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life that we get to live. And this is what we do best. So with that, I'm really also humbled to be partnered with Mupo Entertainment. And this is a brand new collaboration. I was introduced to Michelle Mupo, who is an actress, a singer. She's a ghostwriter, a film writer, and a producer. And about 2 months ago. And Michelle is a true advocate of mental health, having actually firsthand experience as she supports our mission to leading the global holistic mental wellness revolution. And I'm going to be bringing more about this, and stay tuned with that because I will be interviewing Michelle on this series as well. So with that, before I bring my special guest on, let's take a quick break because you can find Mupo Entertainment on mupotv.com, or you can actually download the Android or the iPhone app to access a plethora of amazing content. All right, there we go. I think we're all unmuted here, and I've just brought Steve Fillmore. Hang on one second there. We brought Steve Fillmore to the stage here, and he comes from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he lives there with his husband Michael. Stephen is a retired flight attendant, a member of the B&I Global Connections. He's also a board member of the Orchid Society of Minnesota, and today he works for Lifetime, where health and wellness is a major part of his life today. Steve was diagnosed not only once but twice with cancer, and this is what we'll be talking about in relationship to health and wellness today. So welcome, Steve. I'm so happy that you could join us tonight, taking time from your busy schedule, because I know you're busy all of the time. Welcome, and share with the viewers who Steve is.
Well, first of all, you got me dancing with that music there. I love that. Well, real quickly talking about dancing, I'm actually I got oh, you do with the music. No, it's not too funny. All right, so yeah, yeah, very much into health and wellness. I currently am also a holistic wellness coach. I got into being a holistic wellness coach because I did go through two bouts with cancer. Specifically, I had testicular cancer, and that sent me on a new trajectory in my life at that time back in 2013 and 14. And I'm actually very grateful that the cancer did hop into my life, because if I would have kept on going on the path that I was going, I probably would be overweight and have type 2 diabetes and all kinds of other health challenges as well. So
Wow, that is an amazing journey, and so you've gone through it twice. So can you take our viewers through that journey? And because not only does it affect you physically, it affects you mentally. We have
hmm
talked about this, and share with the viewers a little bit about your journey, and how you actually pulled through it, and some of um, the tools that you used, both Western medicine as well as holistic, because I know that you did both of them during that journey.
absolutely. So back in 2013, I had experienced some groin pain, and being kind of the average guy, I was like, oh, just pop up some aspirin to take care of the groin pain, not really thinking about it. But then it was time to get my yearly physical, and I shared that information with my doctor at the time. Long story short, got the blood test done, and the blood test confirmed that it was testicular cancer. So in men, the particular specific cancer was called seminoma. So it's a soft cell germ cancer. So in men, it starts in the testicles, and in women, it starts in the ovaries as ovarian cancer. And so that first cancer, took care of it with surgery, and the urologist or oncologist wanted to do one round of chemo. I opted out not to do it because I kind of freaked out when I heard the word chemotherapy. So it's like, you know what, I won't do that. Did the surgery, and that got me started thinking about my health and wellness and what I was doing, as far as like exercise and eating correctly and stuff like that. But when I got that first diagnosis, it freaked me out, turned my world upside down. I was stressed out, and really didn't know who to turn to. Eventually I did find some resources online as far as like support groups and how to deal with it. And I come to find out it was always good to um, my way of dealing with the stress was talking about it out loud with other people going through the similar cancers. And yeah, the stress was, I don't know. For me, it was challenging. I mean, it was. I don't like dealing with the stress because I'm a guy that really didn't want to show my emotions to the world. I kind of kept all that stuff inside me, even to my husband. So
Which is
um,
what most men do, as
yeah, yeah,
as we've come to learn. So, yeah, no, it's very difficult, and stress. No matter what kind of stress you have, whether it's through cancer or type 2 diabetes, my type 2 diabetes caused a lot of stress and anxiety in regards to that path of not getting any better. And so stress is manifests in different ways and attacks the body,
yeah.
and trying to manage that. That's something that we'll be talking about as well. But so share with some of the strategies that you used in regards to reducing the stress, to the best of your ability, because we try to do our best and it doesn't always happen. But it takes time to really hone in on that experience, and being able to manage it really properly.
So at the time, I mean, the best way that I knew how to deal with that kind of stress was, besides talking about it, both with my husband and online support groups and stuff, just getting outside. I live here in Minnesota, and I had the cancer during the summertime. It's like, you know what, I got to get outside. So we did a lot of outside walks, and just taking in, uh, being outside and just taking each day by day. I think that was that was probably the biggest thing is taking it day by day and not worrying
Mhm.
about what if, what's the next treatment plan, or what if this and what if that. I just, what, I'm gonna take it day by day and not worry about it. And
Sure.
I mean, it took some time to change that thought process, but once I did, I started feeling better and a little bit less stress. And then I also start changing my diet too. Back then I was a meat eater, omnivore, so I ate a lot of like red meat, chicken, and stuff like that. And I did some studying on how to better deal with like the side effects of some of the treatments that I was going through in the second cancer, and became more vegetarian, started juicing. And that I noticed it changed my mental state.
Mhm.
At the time, I didn't know how it did it, but you know what? I it felt good, so I just kept on doing it. So I got on this big juice kick, and I was juicing every day, which was it's a little expensive, but you know what? It was worth it. It made me feel better at the time.
Exactly. I'm going through right now. I'm on my second week of juicing, and the change in 2 weeks is just phenomenal. So
Hmm.
you can't put a price on good health. You can put
No.
a big, big price on, illness. But yeah, absolutely. Pulling those nutrients out. So cool. Very, very. Yeah. Your journey has been on. We've talked about it many times. It's been an inspiration. My brother just passed from stage 4 colon, liver, and abdomen cancer, and you sharing your story had resonated with me, and being a caretaker for him. So it just brought a lot of empathy and understanding. Not going through it myself, but being with a brother who was dealing with that, and understanding and learning more from you, because you're sharing that information, and it's awareness. It's bringing awareness to those individuals who've never experienced it, which is amazing. So we talked. I mentioned earlier about the Holistic Mental Wellness Company, an amazing company that is focusing on the microbiome, which is the gut brain axis. And I am a firm believer it is a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry today. What is what is your take on this now that you have been really educating yourself and involved with them for about 5 months now? What's changed for you?
It is definitely the seat of our wellness and health lies in our gut. And I say that because when I was going through chemotherapy, my body, I was craving fermented foods. And I knew why, because with the second cancer, I've done a lot of self-education, and I know my gut biome was destroyed by the chemotherapy, and hence why I was
Right.
craving the jars of sauerkraut. And why did I and how did I come with to be introduced to the mental wellness company? I was actually helping a client of mine, and I have several tools in my arsenal for helping out. I used essential oils, different Chinese herbs, and stuff like that. And this particular client was dealing with a multitude of issues, and we tried not everything, but everything that I had at my disposal. And I'm a researcher. I like to search the internet and search different groups that are science based, and clinical trials and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And by the, I don't know, luck of the gods or whatever, I remember talking to a friend of mine, a friend of a friend, and somehow I did a search and I was introduced to you, Jeff, with this company, and I did some digging before I tried any
You did.
products. Yeah, it's because I'm very skeptical, and
I
I
was
looked
too.
at yeah, and I looked at the ingredients, and I did my own search on like PubMed and that kind of stuff, and looked at the different clinical trials on the specific strains of probiotics that we have in the products. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get some products and try it out. And I started the products this just past January. And recently with what was happening on the planet, with the what was floating around, the, if you want to call it, the virus or whatever, and left my airline career of 25 years, again I was dealing with stress. So I think the timing was perfect with being introduced to the company, and I started taking the products, and I noticed that I wasn't. You know how when you feel the like when you drink a cup of coffee, you feel that kind of nervous energy in the body. I
Right.
I didn't I didn't feel that when I was stressed out. So when I get stressed out, normally I get that anxious feeling. I didn't have that feeling
Yeah.
when I started taking the products.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it really the plants that are science backed actually address and target specific neurotransmitters that are in our gut because 90% of the hormones and neurotransmitters are created in the gut that communicate with the brain. So those specific plants are actually food for those neurotransmitters, for those microbiota, because we have little critters that are living in us that are good and that are bad, and we want to get rid of those bad ones, and so they can communicate with the brain, and that's where the anxiety and the stress from the cortisol levels communicate between the stomach and the brain itself. So we've been talking lately about nootropics, and these are good buddies that are out there really enhancing our brain activity and bringing some enlightenment to people who are dealing with stress, dealing with anxiety, dealing with mood changes and things like that. So I want to take a quick little commercial break here to show our viewers a little bit about this that we're going to be talking about here. So I am going to do this, and I'm going to do this right here. At the speed of light, and this is something I wouldn't dare to think I would be doing. And you go round and round and keep your head up high. Suddenly, no solution. Oh. All right, so there we go. I've got like 4 screens here that I'm managing, and it's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. The joys of managing, with this little live session here. But yeah, so this is a brand new product pack that was introduced in regards to really focusing on brain health, and this is something that we'll be talking about as well, because our gut health is a key component to having optimal brain health. And talk about that a little bit more, Steve, in regards to your journey. And we talk about we've got the nootropics, we've got the happy juice, we've got the happy mind pack. All of these things are really great plants that bring some amazing benefits and some unprecedented results with not only our customers but also the distributors as well. So share a little bit about your new brain journey, because we're going to be and talk about the because I'm going to be bringing you back on to be talking about the stress and the hormones and
Oh
um,
yeah.
the little presentation that you're going to do for us.
Well, I gotta say, for those that have gone through cancer and chemotherapy, we have this thing called chemo brain that you may experience. So basically it's a really bad brain fog, being forgetful because the chemotherapy affects the brain and stuff like that. And sometimes there's long-term residual effects of that. For me personally, it lasted a good solid 5, 6, almost 7 years with
Oh,
the
wow.
brain, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's scary, and yeah, it does add a little more stress because being forgetful, it kind of sucks. It's like, what do I do with my keys or my phone? So, and not be able to finish complete sentences in a conversation is really, really stressful. But I started taking the Edge watermelon, and within a couple months, I've noticed that the big difference was with my brain and remembering things and that kind of stuff. But the really good benefit that I noticed too is it helped relieve my neuropathy in my fingertips. So up
Mhm.
until this past January, I still had neuropathy, residual neuropathy in my fingertips. And living here in Minnesota, I also experienced Raynaud syndrome too. So when my fingers got cold, I would lose all blood flow to my fingertips. And taking Edge has helped that dramatically. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna
Awesome.
cry. I'm not gonna cry because it makes me really emotional because it's something that I thought I had to deal with the rest of my life, which was gonna suck. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So for those viewers who are with us, share what neuropathy is, because I know exactly what it is.
So neuropathy, the chemotherapy, it basically damages uh, the nerves on the very far end of the body and the extremities, basically. And Western medicine and a lot of doctors say that really can't be fixed. I don't believe that. I really believe that if we give the body the right nutrition and all the stuff that it needs to heal, I think in time, stuff like that has the possibility to actually be relieved or fixed, if you will. So yeah, I mean that's the basics of neuropathy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it's a tingling sensation and numbness, that happens. And for diabetics, that I had it in my feet, in my legs, and so it's something that is just a part of the progression of the disease. So, or the treatment. You had a treatment. I was dealing with disease. So with that, let's see. I'm gonna do one more commercial here. I'll be right back with you, Steve, so we can wrap up because we're coming up to a wrap up here. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back. We're going to be wrapping up here, Steve. I want to thank you for taking the time today from your busy schedule. And I want to, before we end, I would like for you to share, if there were one thing that you could share with our viewers out there who might be looking for that glimmer of hope, which is what I was 4 years ago, of that glimmer of hope of something out there that will address what I'm looking for, what would that be?
Oh, that's a loaded question. One thing. Uh, Feed your body with the best in food and supplements that you can get your hands on, and keep asking questions. Never stop asking questions to better your body and mind and the whole thing. You just gotta and you gotta want better for yourself. Never give up, because there is there what's that famous saying, food is medicine. It really is. It really
Yeah,
is. I mean, you got to focus on the food. That's where it all starts.
you're absolutely correct. And where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. Just look for Stephen Fillmore. Also, you can go to stevefillmore.com as well. And if you want to direct message me, you can either contact me through either the social media channel. And if you want to talk about if you're going on your cancer journey, or you got somebody else, if you're a caregiver for somebody else that's going through cancer, want to reach out and have a private conversation for advice, just let me know. I'll be more than welcome to chat with you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Steve. And he will be back. He will be back. So we hope you found value in tonight's session. And since this is on multiple platforms, let us know below if there's comments below that you can comment in. Let us know if you found value, what kind of value you found, and if you have any questions, or if there's a topic that you want us to talk about or talk. I'll circle around and definitely reach out to you. For those that want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at Jeffrey at jeffreyeberger.biz. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, now TikTok. So I'm now a TikTok, fanatic. So I'm getting used to that. And just look for Jeffrey E. Berger on all of those platforms. And next week is my special guest, Shane Milburn. And we'll be talking about leading the way in men's mental wellness, because we always grow up learning to build a bridge and get over it and stuff everything underneath the carpet. And guess what? Men have hormones, men have feelings, men cry, and men hurt. So we need to be able to, bring awareness and talk about it. We need to destigmatize this. And lastly, I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially today. Remember that mental fitness is the new physical health, and we all will see you on the inside the next time. Thanks, everybody.